I love the names on this team. They have Sixto Sanchez, and they have my favorite name probably in baseball right now, Jazz Chisholm.
Showing emotion in baseball is terrible and should never be in the game.
It's weird how the dynamic works between sports. But
To win a championship, not only do you need great players on the court, but you need good chemistry, which takes time to develop.
Justin Fields is a all-time talent.
Corey Perry will give some veteran presence to the Canadians.
I feel like Luka will take that next step, and if he can get a three ball consistently around 35%, I feel like they could become a contender.
We can make jokes about you not being in the Super Bowl for 20-something years, but...
What's up, everyone? This is Justin Goldman from the Goalie Guild and Lift the Mask, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Austin and Kevin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. You know, they announced the Pro Bowl voting. We've talked before about the Pro Bowl. It's usually been negative, and yeah, it is negative by the title, as you're noticing it. And the man that is prophesizing or emphasizing the doom of the Pro Bowl, Austin.
Yeah, it all started last year with me saying that, you remember when Tyler Huntley made it last year, the Ravens quarterback that started 4 games? Again, he had 2 passing touchdowns and 3 picks, a passer rating of 77.2. I've never took it seriously after that point, and we now the rosters have been released, and again, it's just bad. It's just there's players missing that I thought would make it. I just think that they don't take into account the fact that no Packers made it, and the Packers were a playoff team. I don't get that. Like, how do we have no? I would get it if the Panthers had nobody, right? But a playoff team having no Pro Bowlers and there's so many spots is kind of crazy to me. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so I was looking at the AFC. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have any from the Packers, because I'm looking at the teams and just the...
Well, here's something I want to say. I don't think Matthew Stafford should have made it. I think Jordan Love should have made it over Matthew Stafford.
Stafford
I was
had looking through the rest. So yeah, you could put Jordan Love in. Yeah, so that's a great point.
Well, Matthew Stafford threw less touchdowns and the same amount of picks. In 2 less games, he threw the same amount of picks. He had a lower passer rating. Every stat is worse. I don't... And again, the difference was 1 game. I just thought Jordan Love was a better quarterback this year than Matthew Stafford. If those were the 2 options, if those were the 2 you were going between, I think Matthew Stafford is the wrong choice.
And it is... Or what were you going to say?
You go.
Is Jalen Johnson really deserving from the Bears as a corner for this Pro Bowl team?
Let me look at Jalen Johnson first.
Like, he may have high upside. I think I remember hearing something, but and then another is Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner is a great player, but I think he's kind of getting older.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of guys here that I don't get. And it does kind of impact how these guys will be remembered long term. And that's what really makes me sad. Jalen Johnson, I do think, has been good enough.
Okay.
I'm looking at his stats. I think he's been good enough.
Okay. Got it.
But Julian Love, kind of the strong safety for the Seahawks, who caught the pick to beat the Eagles, he's been good. He has 4 picks this year, but I don't think he's been good enough to make the Pro Bowl. I don't know about that. That's weird to me. And oh man, it's just weird seeing some of these players make it over others. And
like, or
you go.
a bit. Like Antoine Winfield did not make it.
That's true. I mean, TJ Hawkinson didn't make it.
Hmm.
And he was one that I really thought was going to, because even though maybe Laporta was better, who was the other tight end they chose?
They, I believe, chose. That's a good question. Who did they? They chose.
Kittle. They chose George Kittle.
Oh, Kittle.
And I think that Hawkinson's been better than Kittle this year. I know that Kittle has more yards. He had over 1,000 yards, but I think Hawkinson, with the quarterback situation that he was allotted this year, was better. And if Hawkinson didn't miss 2 games with injuries, he would have gone over 1,000 yards receiving. It's just the way they decide. I mean, I thought there was some. If you look at wide receiver leaders, right? Let me just pull this up so I'm not speaking without context. The receiving yard leaders. Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown was 3rd in receiving yards this year.
And he missed.
And tied for 3rd. Nope, tied for 4th in receiving touchdowns. And he didn't make it. I don't know. Now, it's really tough because A.J. Brown played so well, but A.J. Brown had less receiving yards this year, and honestly, he probably would have been the guy that didn't get in. Puka set the record for the most yards. He had more yards than A.J. Brown, Puka did, and he had 1 less touchdown. It's really close. And then Mike Evans led the NFL in receiving touchdowns. And this is the crazy part of how everyone's always said, oh, Mike Evans is not the never been a A1 receiver. He's never been one of those guys. Mike Evans is amazing. And if you don't think that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, I kind of don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, he's really good. Especially when you're talking about like different QBs. He's dealt with different QBs. Of course, one was Tom Brady, but this year Baker was
very
good.
productive with Brady, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, and another thing is L'Jarius Sneed was left off. But yeah, I think you and I have talked about just the snubs, and we don't really value Pro Bowl voting. I kind of care more about All Pro. I do like kind of shifting to the game aspect. I like that they shifted to flag football, just because guys aren't gonna hurt each other. But I'm curious, like, how many guys opt out of the Pro Bowl this year?
I would say a lot. I'd say at least 15. If we're talking non-Super Bowl, so those don't count really, because those would kind of be, those would happen no matter what. So I'd say at least 15 of all the other positions, especially because of age and everything else. And again, it just, the extra games they have aren't really that fun. I don't really care. Like I'm not even worried about football really that entire week that they have the Pro Bowl, except for the Super Bowl. I'm just looking forward to the Super Bowl. I don't really care about the Pro Bowl at all. Are you at all looking at the Pro Bowl?
No, I might check it out to see, but yeah, I don't really watch the All-Star games. It's just my thing. It's like, oh, this player got a Pro Bowl, and I'm like, I don't like the Pro Bowl doesn't matter to me. It's all pros. Like in Fox Sports, they show Greg Olson, and they're like 3-time Pro Bowl starter, and I'm like, that is like I don't care, and I'm like, how's he only have like 3? Because Greg Olson to me was a pretty good tight end, so just saying 3 Pro Bowl selections or something to me is kind of discredits him.
Yeah, there was a lot of good tight ends during his peak, but he did also was a 2-time second team All Pro.
Okay. Yeah, like I think that's better to put than Pro Bowl because to me, it's just lost value.
Oh, the value is none. I don't think it has any value at all. I don't look at it at all and say, oh, this is what makes it valuable. Nope. I at no point say that. And it really does concern me because this is how players get paid. There are incentives for every player regarding Pro Bowls, regarding these type of awards that they don't necessarily get to decide based on their play only.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so that's my thing, but it's just an easy dunk on. Just go like, yeah, the Pro Bowl did not do well with their voting. I do like a lot of the players on here, but you brought up a lot of good points. Um, I'm glad Sam Laporta got in. He's had an outstanding year as a tight end.
Yeah,
And then
but he had less yards than Hawkinson, and Hawkinson missed 2 games.
Yeah. To me, I was like, Laporta's been incredible. Quarterbacks, it seemed. Like Mahomes is a great quarterback. I'm a little. I wouldn't have been shocked if he wasn't selected, or I wouldn't have been opposed if he wasn't selected. I like that Tua and Lamar Jackson are the quarterbacks for the AFC.
I would have had Stroud over Mahomes.
Oh yes, yes, I would have loved that. Like, yeah, I think there's an argument to say Mahomes did not have a great season this year. He doesn't deserve a Pro Bowl. To me, Tua deserved it, and so did Lamar Jackson. Stroud is a great pick.
Yeah, it's just there's just people that get missed, and again, the awards are really what I look for, not Pro Bowls. It's like you said, All Pro, and then obviously MVP, All Offensive Player of the Year, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's. I think we can leave it there. That's all I got. That's all you got. Let us know what you think. We appreciate the comments. Comments have been a little bit more active, and we really appreciate that. We try our best to answer them as quickly as we can. And make sure to follow us on socials and continue on the quest for 365.